Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to the Palo Alto class. Guys, this is our demo lecture. Okay, and we will check about the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so why we are using the Palo Alto firewall? Okay, and there is in the market multiple firewalls vendor available. Okay, so this is Palo Alto firewall is like we can say in the leaders top leaders firewall, and it's we can say in the top three firewall we can consider in the like it's a Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so let's start at about the Palo Alto firewall. So guys, first of all, we will check. Okay, in this course, we will cover these topics. Okay, so here you can see there is multiple contents is already available. Here you can see the security platform. Okay, virtual and cloud deployment. Okay, then initial configurations, interface configuration, security and net policies, application ID, content ID, URL filtering ID, disk decryptions. Okay, wildfire, your user ID, global protect, site-to-site VPN, monitoring, reporting, HA, high availability, active and passive, and security practices. Okay, so let's check one by one. Like here, we will check about the security platform architecture. There is a multiple firewall available. So type of the firewall we will check. Like multiple types of the firewall is available. So like a stateful firewall, stateless firewall, packet filtering firewall. Okay, so that part we will check here. Okay, and there is a virtual, like we will install this EVNG on the VMware virtually. Okay, and we will add those all the images like Palo Alto firewall image, router image, switch image, Windows machine image, and we will perform the lab. Okay, here. Then initial configuration we will do on the Palo Alto firewall, how to configure the Palo Alto management interface, then how to create a zone, the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, that we will discuss on this part. Okay, interface configurations, like we can configure that Palo Alto firewall as a like inside so interface, outside interface, DMC interface. So we will configure the here also. There is interface configuration. We can say like there is some types of the interface. There is a we can say like layer 3 interface. What is the layer 2 interface? Okay, and tap mode, then vwire mode. Okay, and HA mode also is available. So we will discuss about this all this interface configuration. Okay, so in this layer 3 guys interface, so there is a few scenarios like if all this VLAN, like okay, so suppose here our two Windows machine is available. Okay, and they are connected to with a particular switch. Okay, and here the switch is connected to with the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, and this Palo Alto firewall is connected to with ISP. Okay, so if all these subnets, okay, all this machine and this switch to interfaces and here, okay, so all are in same subnet, then we how we can configure this L3 interface here. Okay, now suppose this machine and this machine are both are a different machine, a different subnet. Okay, so how we can configure this Palo Alto firewall L3 interface. Okay, and also we are using the manageable switch. Okay, then how we can configure this Palo Alto firewall interface as a L3 interface, that part we will cover. Okay, then we can cover, we will check also layer 2 interface, how to configure the layer 2 on this Palo Alto firewall. Okay, Palo Alto firewall interface, how to configure as a L2 interface. Okay, and then we will check the tap mode, then vwire mode. Okay, so we will check all these uses and everything. Okay, then after guys, we will check the security policies and net policies. So there is a some security policy, how to create a security policy. Okay, so there is some by default policies available like any and any it's a denial, like we can say interzone, like from inside zone to any other zone, like inside zone to outside zone, policy will be by default deny mode. Okay, so it's called the interzone and intrazone, which means that the anyone can wants to communicate with inside zone to another inside zone, then it will by default allowed. Okay, so there is a two policies already configured on the Palo Alto firewall, so that part we will cover here. And not net policy, so in the net guys, there is a four type of the net is available, like we can say pet, then after static net. Okay, then dynamic net guys. Okay, and fourth one is a destination net. Okay, so this we will cover on this topic. Okay, now next one is guys application ID. Okay, so here you can see this application ID, which means the app based on the application we can control the traffic. Okay, and firewall will inspect the traffic from layer 1 to layer 7. Okay, so it will inspect the traffic from layer 1 to layer 7, and it will identify the which application user wants to access, and is it allow or deny. So based on the security rule, it will allow the traffic, otherwise it will deny the traffic. Next is a guys content ID. Content ID is a nothing but the security profiles, guys. Okay, so in the security profile multiple things are available. We can say antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability, okay, data filtering, URL filtering, sorry, data filtering, file blocking. Okay, so all these things available like covered in the content ID. Okay, so that part also we will check. And URL filtering, so based on the URL. Okay, so suppose in some organization they wants to deny the social networking sites. Okay, so we can block the category, hold the category social networking, so no one can access the facebook.com, linkedin, instagram, okay, twitter. So they are all these sites comes under the social network. Okay, so we can block through category also. Decryptions. Okay, so we can like we can the Palo Alto firewall. So suppose for the decryption, let me give you the one example. Okay, so this is the one user. Okay, and here is the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, and here is the ISP, and after the ISP there is a one available server is available. Okay, so what will happen here first of all? So this user will try to access the one of the software is available here. Okay, so he a user wants to access this software and he wants to download. Okay, so in between the user and this server, the one data will transfer in the encryption form. Okay, so encrypted form. So no one can decrypt the data, and no one can identify what type of the data is traveling. So this particular machine wants to download one software here. Okay, and any another attacker is available. Suppose here is a attacker. Install this any viruses on the software, and that data is traveling here through encrypted form. Okay, so Palo Alto will not identify either this in the software the data is already is this in the software that antivirus is available or not. So we can enable the decryption policy on the Palo Alto firewall. So what will happen? Okay, so first of all, this user send the request to the Palo Alto firewall, and Palo Alto firewall will send the request to the server behalf of this user. Okay, then it will send in the encryption form. Okay, now once the this server will reply, so firewall will do decrypt that packet, and it will identify if it is a normal packet, then it will re-encrypt and it will send it again to this particular user. Okay, otherwise it will, if Palo Alto will found any virus and anything, then it will drop the packet here only. Okay, so this is about the decryption policy. We will cover this topic in the detail in the upcoming lecture, guys. Okay, now wildfire. Okay, so few application, as I said in the content ID. Okay, so there is a few security profiles available here in the content ID, like antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability, data filtering. Okay, then the file blocking, data blocking, everything is available. So that zero day attack, like uh, that type of the attack, it's not available in this like here. So in the signature, application signature, it's not available, so Palo Alto will not identify that one. Okay, so we can use the cloud based and public based wildfire. So through a wildfire we can identify the signature of this particular data, and Palo Alto will recognize it is like a malicious traffic or trusted traffic. Okay, so based on the traffic, we can allow or deny the traffic on the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, user ID means that we can allow the traffic based on the user. Okay, so someone can access that facebook.com. Okay, so we can create a rule on the Palo Alto firewall, like Abhay one cannot able to access that facebook.com or any social networking site. So we can create a one rule with username with the Abhay. So whenever Abhay wants to access this facebook.com or social networking, so he cannot able to access. Okay, and global protect, like this is a one of the software. Okay, so we can say this is part of the remote site access VPN, guys. Okay, so what will happen? suppose in the Cisco platform, we are using the Cisco AnyConnect to connect our remote sites, okay, our company environment and everything. Okay, so here same way we can use the global protect, and once we connect the global protect, then it will authenticate with our company server, and once it's successfully authenticated, then we can access our company resources or company website here, okay, through global protect. So this is one of the part we can say remote site VPN. Then site to site VPN. So there is a two sites, private site is available here. In between there is one internet. Then we can access this. We can communicate these two private site over the public IP address through a tunnel. So it's called the site to site VPN, and there is some multiple protocols where, like, we can use the IPsec protocol. Okay, so that part also we will cover in this detail. And monitoring report, how to check that monitor logs and everything, report how to fetch the report. Okay, that one also we will check. Then active and passive, this also is a scenario we will check. Suppose this is one of the Palo Alto firewall, and it's connected with the ISP. Okay, and here in the switch is connected, and in the switch there is a multiple user connected here. Okay, so like traffic is going via Palo Alto firewall to the internet. Somehow this firewall goes down, okay, any faulty down, okay, so any interface one faulty. So that time we are like we are facing the some downtime. So avoid to this downtime, we can do one thing, guys. This is Palo Alto firewall one, and this is another Palo Alto firewall. So we can do one thing. Okay, those are connected with the ISP. Okay, and ISP, and this particular though this both are connected with the switch, and through switch there is a multiple users are connected. So this user wants to connect it here. So this is firewall is perform as a active, and this is a passive. So all the traffic passing via active firewall only. Okay, then it's passing via active firewall. And suppose in case this firewall gone faulty, then this firewall become the active firewall, and the traffic passing via this firewall without any downtime. Okay, and security practices. So whenever we are creating any, we will configure any rule and everything. We will create a security policy and everything. So this part we will cover here. Okay, guys. So this is about the contents, okay, in the Palo Alto firewall that we will cover in this Palo Alto course. Also, we will cover some few topics. Okay, so additionally we will cover these practices, and during this one, okay, guys, each and every topic, suppose we will perform the lab. Okay, so this is one of the important part, okay, in this course. Okay, so each and every topic, like in interface configuration, so we are checking the interface types. Okay, so each and every topic, first of all we will check the layer 3, then we will do the practical of the layer 3. Okay, once it's completed, then we will check the layer 2, and we will perform the lab, which means that each and every theoretical part after we will perform the lab, and once it's completed, then we will go for the next topic. Okay, that's the our like motive. Okay, here then let's check about the next one, guys. Here you can see that Palo Alto network security terms and technology. So this is basic parts. Okay, so that part also we will cover in this one. Once the lecture is started, then this is our terminology, network terminology. We will check in the details. Okay, what is the asset, what is the vulnerability, then what is the exploit, what is the threat, attack and countermeasure. That part also we will cover in this in the details, guys. And we will check about the firewall. So what is the firewall, why we are using firewall. Before the firewall, like we can use the same thing on the router also, but router will identify the traffic on the till layer 4 only, but firewall will inspect the traffic till layer 7, guys. Okay, so that also we will cover here in this course. Okay, and this is about the firewall and techniques, firewall technique, which means that firewall types. So there is a multiple types of the firewall. Here we can say packet filtering firewall, so we can say also state lace firewall, we can say it's the same. Then proxy firewall, we will check the scenario also. Stateful firewall. Okay, so Palo Alto firewall, checkpoint firewall, Fortinet firewall, they are comes under the stateful firewall. And one of the most important question in the interviewer, guys, interview will ask, okay, what is the difference between the stateful firewall and stateless firewall. Okay, and this also is the transparent firewall is available. What is the transparent firewall, why we are using a transparent firewall. Okay, that also topic we will cover in this course. Okay, So this is about the Palo Alto Firewall course and like contents, guys. Okay, and after we will check about the appliances. Okay, so in which environment we can use the which firewall model. Okay, so this part also we will check in the details. Okay, so suppose in our smaller environment like branch offices and a small organization, we can use the 200 series. Okay, so there is a 200 series, two types of the firewalls for Palo Alto Firewall 220 and 220R. Okay, there is 800 series, 3200 series, 5200 series, 7000 series. There is a multiple series also available in the market, guys. That part also we will cover, okay, in this course. And there is a like already cover this in the details here. You can see this 220 firewall. What is this configuration? How many sessions they are supported? Okay, how many policies we can create? How many virtual router we can create? How many security zones we can create? Each and every model, that part also we will cover in this detail in this upcoming lecture. Okay, so guys, this is about the Palo Alto Firewall demo lecture. Okay, hope so it's clear, you guys, clear for you guys. Okay, so let me stop the recording, guys. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you.